Now everybody scream enough respect to the X. Enough respect given.
Well, here it is, people, the Honor Magic V2. If you've watched my videos, you know that this is a device I've been really clamoring for since its surprise debut, I think sometime last year. I remember it just kind of popped up on my YouTube feed, and I was so enamored with it, I made a video on the spot. Now, about a few months after, I finally have one. Let's take this time here and do this quick unboxing of the device. I am doing a voice over because I didn't want to wake the wife. So I'm just going to describe what you're seeing, as you know I like to do. That was the power brick. It's obvious I can't use that version as I'm here in the States. This package here is the power cord. Now it's a USB-C, so you know, even though I can't use the brick, I can use the cord on my current power bricks. So you know, that's always a good thing. You can never have too many USB-C cords because those things get damaged and get lost very easily. Now, I was kind of curious about what this was. The images do tell you, oh yeah, there was a key at the back. Kind of forgot that was there. They try to tell you what each thing is with the image, but at the time when I was doing this, I didn't quite get what it was trying to say. This here is a case of sorts for the device. It goes on the back of it, and it does match the color of the device that you got. So a little extra protection for your Magic V2. A lot of the US companies can stand to learn a lot from these international companies, because this unboxing experience, as little as it seems, is more than you get in 90% of what you can buy in the US right now. That was some paperwork. You don't really need that, and you know, I like to put things back how I found them, and that was that. Now here we're gonna go back to the phone, and I'm excited. I was really excited to get this thing in hand. Wait for it. And there it is. Oh man, that thing is so pretty. This is the Purple Magic V2, the only color that I had any interest in whatsoever. If you again watch my vids, you know I love purple devices. Though I'm not against all other colors, if a device comes in purple, it automatically grabs my attention. And there you go, that was my first fold. You know, it's really thin. I was a little surprised about how thin it actually was. I mean, yes, the USB-C is at the back, and it's almost the same size as the body of the phone itself. Very reminiscent of the Surface Duo 2. The back has a camera hump, the logo for the device. The front is what you would expect, but very reminiscent of a regular phone. That's the draw to it. Then when you open the device, you have this amazing internal screen. It's almost surprising how thin this thing is. Almost. I feel if I didn't have a Mate XS, I would be floored. But the Mate XS, though it has a hump on one side of it, the device, most of the device is extremely thin. So I'm not as shocked as I could have been because of that device there. Now,
I never really got what people meant when they said it feels like a normal phone when closed when it comes to using foldable devices. Um, because here in America, none of the readily available foldables fit those dimensions. But once I got my Magic V2, I knew exactly what they were talking about.
First off, it feels really good to hold. The entire phone just fits in your hands so beautifully. Kind of reminds me of my Pixel 6a and phones around that size. The phone itself is not that big when closed. You don't have to do any crazy finger dive or gymnastics, as they say, to reach the corners of the phone to do your pull downs for your menu and your notifications. Everything is just there. And unless you knew it was a foldable device, you wouldn't question it, because everything just seems to fit the norm of what you would expect a regular smartphone to be. Now, when the screen is open, it's a beautiful 7.9-inch display. Great for consuming content, or in this case, trying to find the best time and route to our next destination. One of the things that I never realized I would like so much is having the volume buttons on the left side and the power button on the right. At first I was like, why would they do that? Until I realized I am maybe one of the few people who predominantly uses my phone in my left hand, even though I am right-handed. And the reason for this is I'm always trying to write things down, so I guess it has become habit to prep ahead of time for that. You know, I might want to write something down, so the phone is always in this hand, so that I can quickly grab my pen or my stylus or whatever and write down the note. And this helps out a lot when I'm trying to watch something and all of that. But I need access to if I need access to the volume buttons, they're right here where my thumb rests naturally. Then when I want to turn the phone back on, my pointer goes on the power button, and that's that. We're good to go. When it's closed, it's pretty much like every other phone is. You have your volume with your fingers, and your finger rests right on the power button, real easy, and volume just as well. It's actually really well thought out for a device, and I do hope that other devices go with that same thinking of having the buttons on two separate sides. It really does give both hands something to do, and your fingers just kind of rest where they are supposed to be, or they eventually will once you get used to it. Of course, you need to power those two beautiful displays, and from my everyday use, I think it does pretty well in that department. So the phone has been with me now since this morning around 10 o'clock, and it's gone down, 9%. I just have to look at the battery percentage real quick. It told me that something was power intensive. There we go. And yeah, these times actually seem pretty good. Put this thing on ultra power saving and you get 45 hours. I mean, I'm sure there's not much coming through with that. Power saving is 18 and performance is 14, but regularly I'll have 15 hours left. So as slim as the phone is, the battery is actually pretty good. Now, the V2 does not have wireless charging built in, nor is it waterproof. Two features most flagships nowadays have. Now, my understanding behind this was, at the time, the V2 was such new technology, getting a foldable to be that thin, Honor just didn't know how to implement those features as of yet. Now with the V3, they have. Now, in all honesty, I didn't even know the V2 did not have wireless charging built in because I never tried it. I always just plugged in the device and I was good to go. It charges up pretty quick. So though,
Most people do like to have the convenience of it. It's not a deal breaker for me. As for the waterproofing of the device, I've had many devices that are not water resistant of any kind, and they all survived just fine. So again, not a deal breaker for me. I know how to take care of my devices for the most part. Now, one of the main reasons why I want to get the Honor Magic V2, besides the fact that it's purple, is it's one of the only folding phones available that has a regular sized stylus that you can actually use on every screen of the device. Now, as you can see, if I hold the pen and I tap, I get the Notes application on my outer screen, and it's not just a method of writing on the screen, but it's the actual Notes application. So I'm free to have all the options that I would have on the main application out here, because it doesn't give you a watered down version just for notes. You can actually draw and take your more in-depth notes, change, page, erase, and all of that. Whatever you might want to do on the application. Change the size of the pens. This is the pencil. Change the colors. Whatever you might want, this allows it. And this is one of the things that was a point of dismay for me when it came to the Z Fold line. When they introduced the S Pen, you weren't allowed to take notes on the outer screen. And notes is taking something that I do like to do when I have an idea, when someone is trying to give me some information. I just whip out the phone that I have, because almost every device that I use has the ability to use some type of stylus input, and I write the notes down as as easy and quickly as possible. One of the main points for this too is, if I were to open the device, the note is there still, and with the same pen, without having to adjust anything, you guys probably can't see that, I'm able to still write everything down. The pen works on both the inner, I tried to zoom in with my fingers, on both the inner and outer screen, which is all I've asked Samsung to do with their line of fold devices. All I want is for me to be able to take my notes wherever I want. Oh, you guys can't see that. I tried. Now, when I save it and I go back into my Notes app, it's going to be there ready and waiting for me to do whatever I want. Pretty much. I can add things. I can change the background. No, it's actually pretty cool what they allow you to do to spruce up your notes. It's actually quite nice. Okay, speaking of software, let's talk about the software on the Honor Magic V2. If you follow these devices, you're pretty much well aware that this thing runs a version of Android called Magic OS. Now, you will see a lot of your regular Android functionality. For example, swipe up to get to your apps drawer, and all of the apps are here. You can arrange them. You have your ability to go through your tabs, but it also has certain iOS-like features as well. Most prominently displayed is this guy here. See this little picture? Just like with iOS, you have the little, I think they call it magic window here. But yeah, whatever controls you might have or apps that work with it live in this little bubble around your front facing camera. Now, we know that though it's been done before or things like that, like with the LG V20, they had a whole strip up top. But of course, Apple made it that much more popular when they released their dynamic island on the iPhone 14 Pro. So this goes ahead and takes that idea and adds a little bit more functionality to it. For as far as I know, more apps can work with this magic pill up top. They also have the swipe on the left side to go into your notifications, and swipe from the right side to get into your various settings. But it also has some of its own that are somewhat unique to this device. At least I haven't seen them before, at least not in this way. For example, you can hold here, and yes, you get this little bar, very much like the Samsung devices, but you can actually hold it, take any one of these, and there'll be a little pop-up window on your device. Now, with that window, you can put in the corner, which is another unique feature that it has, and it will just dock there. And you're able to do whatever you want, and when you want to go back in, you just tap on it, and boom, there it is. It's a nice way to keep what you are doing on both screens visible at all times, because it does update in real time. So as things go on in this miniature window in the corner here, actually it can be in any corner, you will see it update accordingly. Of course, there is also continuity. Whatever app you have on the outside when you open will be present on the inside as well. Out of the screen, notes is just your various notes that you have taken, just a list of them. You know, I do like to take my notes. When you open the device, you not only have your list, but it's ready to add new notes. So that's always nice, and it's nice to see that that is included, or that type of functionality is included with a phone that can turn into a tablet like this. Now, as I was showing you before, you are, like I said, again, able to open other apps, but once you're on the inner screen, not only can you do the mini window, like I said, in this case, let's do these two, but you have multiple windows open. And as a bonus, with the update that came, actually just as you just saw, you're now able to move these windows wherever you want. Before, they were just docked in the corner of the screen, and when you wanted them, you would tap on them and they would just, you know, pop to life. But now you can dock them and pretty much move them wherever you want them. And when you want to get rid of the apps in your dock here, just go down to the garbage, it turns red, and you throw them away. And boom, you're back to what you had going before. So another feature that I like very much with Magic OS is the ability to quickly share posts and pictures from one application to another. For example, let's say I like this here. I'm not sure what any of this is. I'm just going to highlight it all. I can hold this, and you see here, I get this menu, and I can really just throw this text into any one of these apps. Surprisingly, Instagram isn't here. Probably because it's text, like I said, and there it is. It's ready for me to edit or add to it, whatever the case might be. Now, let's say I want this picture as well. The same thing. And there you go. I have the text and the image already in my Note app, and I am ready to do whatever I need to do with it. Of course, I can write. And it appears there, and it's a really good way to, gather information that you may be trying to use on some other project. So of course that is extremely helpful. And of course, 2024 being what it is, everything has some type of AI built into it. They have their own AI. Well, it's really just based on Google's AI. So you do have your Gemini built in. When is this weather going to clear up? It's been raining forever. You see here, if you do AI instant movies, I'm pretty sure that with the right content, something like this would actually be pretty good. But personally, I don't need hearts and flowers and stuff going over my Tab S8 Ultra. But you see what I mean. They do have AI built in to help you with your content creation. So that is a pretty good feature that they have. And of course, as this is a tablet and they want to push multitasking, you can always go and open 2 apps at once. Let's go into, Reddit. And boom, now we have Reddit on one side, my notes on the other side, and if I choose to, I have a window in the middle. So I could indeed run 3 apps at once. Most likely, I would switch these around. That's something else you can do. Like press in the middle here, swap those around there, because I write with this hand. I'd be reading something here, taking the notes here, and that's how I would use this type of functionality. It works great. You're not really going to be lacking in the multitasking department if you happen to use this phone. Not only that, but you are able, like you see here, to keep your app peers. But if you pair applications that you know that you use these a lot, they will save in your tabs bar, and you can always go back in when the time is right to use it again. The Duo did things like this, and you could actually save the pairs on your home page, and when you press it, it will always open. With this one, when you swipe out of the pair, it's just gone. You'll just have to do it again. Another cool feature of Magic OS is the ability to adjust your folders. Here you have the Google folder. If I hold it, I can actually change the size of it and actually what I see in it. So here you have your stack at the bottom there. But if I don't want that, I just move it around and it opens up, and it can open to whatever you need it to be, wherever you need it to fit. Now, if I do it like that, you see, I have 2 open, 3 open, or the whole window. It's actually pretty good. And in the case of some other apps, not just with the folders, if I go here, for example, Spotify, just move that down here, you can see if I bring it down, I get the options that Spotify has. You see that the functionality does open up, so you actually don't need to go into the app to go to your search or whatever. It really is just there for you to use. Also, another nice little thing here, as you can see, when I readjust the folder. It actually moves things out of the way so you can actually keep the shape that you are trying to go into. Also, when I hold it, you get all of the various options for the application, so you can dive right into what you are trying to use without having to open the application directly. So a lot of nice little fun features with Magic OS. So when you fold the phone with certain applications, let's say we go into the Photos app, you get your little folder mode here where you can swipe through your pictures up at the top, and you see them, and at the bottom is kind of like where you would control the things. Same goes for YouTube. Let's say we were to go there. In YouTube, you would get the same functionality. There are a few apps that do things like that. If you go into the camera app, if I were to fold it, yeah, you get your camera on one side and your pictures on the other side. And you can scroll through the pictures that you took, and when you press them, you know, they'll pop up and you can watch your video however you choose. Of course, with the camera app, you have all of your functions. If you are the type of mobile camera buff, which I am not, you have your options here: movie, pro, video, portrait. They're all there. Nighttime shots. You can go into whichever one you want. Then on this side, you can change the zoom and add all kinds of functions and features that I actually don't know what they all do. I really am just a point and shoot type of guy, but I have taken a few shots with it. I have played around with it, and for my needs, it works fine. So this is the front-facing camera of the Magic V2. I'm currently at the park. See how it kind of did a color shift there. It's an inner front-facing camera, you know, just so you guys know. Like I said, I'm not a big camera guy, but I'm trying to see exactly how this thing, you know, does its thing. The color does seem off, and it does shift from a light to dark. The stuff behind me is really blurred, the leaves and all of that. It's not a very crisp image, but because it's a foldable phone, you always switch to the rear camera. I've done a few vids with this here. When you press that, it tells you to flip the phone around, and you're able to use the front-facing camera, which are, without question, the better cameras on the device. A lot of foldable phones have that, and no, these cameras are actually pretty good. Now, this is the rear camera, the main camera of the device. I flipped it around, you know, it's doing this whole back camera front screen thing, and you can clearly see the difference. Now, I can't compare this to any Pixel Fold 2 device or Z Fold 6 device. I don't have one, you know, don't particularly care for them, but this is good enough for any and everything that I want to do as far as, you know, a selfie video or selfie cameras go. It looks good. It's a lot better than the inner camera. The color pops more. I do stand out from the background more. These are things that I see that the everyday guy or gal would probably see. And of course, you have your zoom in, zoom out. See, that's what those cameras are like. A bit closer. We can probably get into my eye there. Not bad. 10x zoom. But yeah, this is the camera of the Magic V2. Again, I'm not the biggest camera nerd out there. I don't really know how to fully explain all the different features that the camera has besides zoom in and portrait modes and video and all of that. But it has a lot of options, as you can see here. I'm sure you guys would be able to make way more sense of all of this than I can. So the first thing you do is you take your Honor V2 and you need to connect it to your PC. I'm going to disconnect my Ally here. So the phone is connected there, and you see that we have the aspect ratio of the inner screen mirrored to my monitor. Now, when I open the device, now your viewing area mimics the aspect ratio of the tablet mode, and you can still go into the phone, do everything you want, only on a larger display on your monitor. And if you need even more than that, you just go, you tap this up here, you go here, and you get your options. Auto adjust aspect ratio. These are all options for the display mode. And here you see mirror the phone or desktop mode. Now we're going to hop into desktop mode, and you'll see what I mean by a quasi PC experience. So that's how you get into the apps that you have. The one that says 2 fingers allows you to scroll through. You select your audio. These are your notifications and your little control panel down here. And these are your back, home, and other buttons there. So it's all there. And the experience is what you make it. Things around. Now let's open up YouTube here. That's always something we like to do. You can hold it and move the window around. Okay. Here's Edge. You can scroll through. We can search. Let's go to, I don't know. So it has your phone arena. I do frequent this site. And there you see it. I was a big user of DeX before I got my Tab S8, and DeX on the S24 is, I'd assume, more full-featured than this. I haven't dived into all the capabilities of this desktop mode, but for regular use, if you want to write something, you have some homework to do, send an email, surf the web, and you want a larger experience than what your phone has to offer, even if it's in its unfolded tablet mode, this is a very good option. Even things like Meet, if you had a stand, which right now I don't, could be done on this. It would use the camera of the device. It would appear on your screen. You could have your meeting, boom, you have your phone up there. I'd probably have the mouse connected because it needs to face me to see me. But you see that it is a lot of use that you can get out of this mode. And if you don't need the super computing power of these newer PCs, this is more than enough for most people to get their daily computer work done. So along with those features that I showed, there are so many others I have yet to really get into. There's gaming modes, e-reader mode, there's night stand mode. So many ways to use the foldable device. I do think that Honor really thought out all the way someone might want to use something like this and try to implement as many of them as they could. So I'm happy with the device. It's not as new, but it's still just as fresh. And I do intend to really get into the details of how this device can work for me as I continue to use it. So with that said, my name is NG the Neon X, and really enjoying having an Honor Magic V2. This is what I'm into.